Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell.
All right, let's see what happens. Boy, I got big old circles in my eyes. Okay, let's see. We are over here in Salinas, California. I guess we'll give it a minute to see if any notifications go out. It's been a minute since I've done a live. How long has it been since I've gone live? Mr. Jeremy Brownheim is first. You are first.
Well,
JDQ, what's happening? Yep, notifications must have went out. Did you just get one? Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
How you guys doing? How you guys doing? My end's not showing anybody's here. But we'll give it a second. Ooh, I don't like the way this thing is bouncing. Okay. Cliff, yes, vampires. I do feel like a vampire when I wake up in the day and the light shines in. I do feel like I'm going to catch on fire and burn sometimes. Running at night gets old and lonely. What's happening, Alan? How you doing? Long time. Bones, what's up? Oh, man. Man. I'll tell you, what a day. I'm having a that's trucking day, and I'm not liking it. I don't like this kind of BS. I'll go on by saying, let's see. We get dispatched this load, at like 9 o'clock this morning, or no, 8 o'clock?
Early.
Was it early? 6. I know we got here at 9:30, didn't we? Anyways, we get dispatched this load. The drop dead time to pick it up is between 09:30 and 1400. We get here at like 09:30. Did you check in, by the way, on the Qualcomm? Did you do a rival call? Okay. We get here 09:30. Melissa does her thing, talks to the shipper, and they're like, we don't have an appointment. You got to make an appointment. Here, talk to this person. They give us a 2100 appointment time, which is 9 o'clock. PM, and I'm not happy about that, but it's like, well, you know what, that's trucking, whatever. Lay down, go to bed, do my thing, wake up. They said don't check in no more than 15 minutes early. Go in, check in just now, and get told, okay, we'll give you a call. And like I always do, all right, what are we looking at as far as times? Oh yeah, it's 3 hours.
More than 3 hours.
So I ask her, okay, 3 hours. No, more than 3 hours, she says, when I said 3 hours. I go, more than 3 hours? She goes, yeah. She goes, it's going to be a while. So I already shut the reefer from this morning. I shut the reefer off. I started it up about an hour before I checked in because it's got to be pretty cool. So now I'm thinking, do I shut it back off? Because why should I be paying for all this fuel for nothing? The only thing that scares me is I'm checked in now, and you know, even though they tell you 3 hours, you know, as soon as I turn that reefer off and it warms up, they're gonna put me in a door, and then they won't load me because the reefer's not pre-cooled. So I guess at this point we'll just leave it on. It's a produce load, so the reefer is on to run continuous, although I put it on start-stop because why waste that extra fuel while you're waiting for it? Let's see. So, what does this do? You guys got to remember one thing in trucking they like to do is this load had a nice window on it. We weren't going to have to push it to get it there. Not a big deal, but now if they don't load me till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I haven't done the math, but we'll still be able to get it there, no problem. But now the load's gotten a lot tighter, meaning, hey, you know what, if we wanted to stop and get dinner somewhere, or I'm too tired to run and I wanted to sleep for 3 or 4 hours, this might not be possible anymore because of them, you know. And I wouldn't put it past them for me to be doing another video first thing in the morning going, yep, ain't been loaded yet. I went ahead and sent dispatch a message, which it's night dispatch, weekend dispatch, so I know they're going to just come back and say, you got to talk to your dispatcher. But I sent them a message. I said, hey, you know what? Bullshit. I want to be paid detention from 1,400. Why is it my fault that when I did everything as a driver I'm supposed to do? I got here in the time frame I was told. The appointment when I was given the load was set. So why shouldn't I be getting paid detention from when I was told it was? What if you told me, oh, this load picks up at 2,100? What if I would have said, well, no, get me some? Yeah, number one, I didn't even really want this load because I wanted a payroll load. So I probably would have said, remember when we told him, oh, you got to pay? Well, I don't know if we can get your payroll load out of there today. So we took this very good paying load, but we're not getting out of here today anyways. So what? Why don't you give me a damn goddamn payroll load? Oh, I'm getting pissed about that now. Thinking about I missed out on a payroll load because of waiting on this garbage and didn't even get it out of here today. But I'll tell you, man, that's trucking. That's all they're gonna. That's all dispatch is gonna be thinking is that's trucking. You know that. So why you whining about it? Lucas says nobody sleeps anymore. I guess this man sleeps more than you, and he's saying nobody sleeps anymore.
It reminds me. That's what I need to go do right now. Sleep.
Lucas sleeps like 1,000,000 hours a day. Jeremy says, I slept all day after driving all night.
Oh, so he's going to be driving tonight?
No, he's going home. But yeah. What's up, Steven? How you doing? Chattanooga, Tennessee. Right on. Good old USA. Hey, Kiana, how you doing? Big John. Fort Worth, right on. Absolutely put that puppy on the start, stop, and then back on continuous when you get... Yes, I always, whenever I'm on a continuous load, I always put it on start, stop until I'm leaving. And then I'll change it over because, why waste all that reefer fuel? Bone says, seems like trucking companies don't know how to handle trucking companies. I just did that yesterday as I sat for 14 hours at a strawberry load in Santa Maria. Yeah, you always expect this kind of garbage out of produce loads. They're always changing their, we don't have all the product yet and whatnot, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever had one go this bad. We've had them where we've gotten there at 11 o'clock at night, but it's like our third pickup for the day, and they'll say, well, you know what, it's going to load first thing in the morning, and it's like, all right, fine, we've already picked up, we got 3 pickups, so we already picked up the 2. We're all burnt out. Usually I don't care because at that point I'm tired as hell because I was up all day dealing with those pickups, and it's like, fine, I get to sleep. But this, no, I wanted a payroll load. And, oh, well, we're not going to get you out today. We don't think with payroll load. Well, okay, we can get out today. I expected to be, we would have been changing drive shifts right now, man. I expected to be out of here. By 2 o'clock, maybe 3, 4 o'clock. They probably won't get us out until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning launch. But dispatch hasn't answered yet to my request. Kiana says, this load is awesome, but definitely not going on payroll. Right on. Big John says, exactly after sitting there for 14 hours, my fluff time is gone run hard, heavy, all the way to PA. Yeah, and see, I'm not doing that. I'm fucking gonna refuse to do that. I'm telling you that shit right now. I'm gonna run. I'm just gonna run. If the load's gonna be late, it's gonna be late. It's not my fault. You're not gonna give me this many days to get it there and then take half of them away and say, well, you know what? Now you can't. Now it's gonna be like a FedEx load. You can't stop and piss, drink, do nothing except run all the way there. No, not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'll drive this thing right to Springfield, drop the load, and get something else. Let somebody else hustle it to Massachusetts. I'm just not. I'm not dealing with that. It's no. Mm-mm. I don't think that's going to be the case. Because this had a little, and I should have known, because I was thinking this load's got a little extra time on it, but because I could have got it there on payroll. It's a live unload at a grocery warehouse, so they ain't gonna unload you early. But definitely not now. I can't. What day is today? Today's Sunday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, no, there's no way, because it's especially to get us out of here at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, which is what I'm expecting. There's no way to. We'll barely be getting there on time. Kiara says 2,800 miles total with second drop on Tuesday and payroll ends today. Oh, that sucks. I had way too much time to get this load here, but I'm working recap, so that's got a lot to do with it. Well, I'm the recap king, so what I have to say about that is if you ran your clock correctly, you wouldn't be waiting for your recaps. Now, I know, don't get all tied up and twisted. I know sometimes you can't do anything about it. You're running, you got to run hard, so you burn your clock up. You got to wait for recaps. I'm just messing with you. That was for Jeremy's benefit. Kiana says I picked up early because I was paranoid about being late. Okay. Big John says it's a 7K load for payroll. I'm running it. Hell yeah. Yep. Yeah, when they're on payroll, it gives you an incentive to do it. But being this delivers a day after payroll, it's actually going to screw this week up for us, but it will be made up next week, because next week will make up next week, as long as we run decent, because this load is on next week. The amount of revenue we bring in for next week will make up for and make 2 good weeks rather than this one. Basically we'll have enough revenue this week for like a solo truck. Lucas says they should reschedule the 90 if you ask due to delay at shipper. Well, one of the things that Lucas, is they don't tend to do that unless it can't be ran. Unless a team can't just push it and get it there. Now, if it can be pushed and get it there, they ain't going to change nothing. But I'll tell you right now, if anything comes up and makes it late, there better not be any service failure involved with that, because hey, I'm sorry, but I had a stomach ache. I ate freaking nasty ass Selena tacos, and I had to stop and sit for an hour, and now I'm going to be an hour late. Well, there better not be any kind of service failures on that, because it delivered 24. I mean, it picked up 24 hours late, so that shouldn't be a thing. I ain't worried about that. Like I said, I'll just drop this down and let it get repowered if they wanted to. They needed someone to run it freaking that hard there. Jeremy said, who are you kidding? You know damn well you're get there because you're too greedy. Jeremy knows me pretty well. Yep, Kiana says she runs the loads as she gets them. She's a company driver. Absolutely. Peyton, how you doing? Says, what's up, man? I'm back. I'm sorry I've been missing your lives. That's all right, man. I hear you. I miss a lot of stuff, because we team. That's the other thing, is this load. The one of the things you can do as a lease operator, I guess you can to a point do this as a company driver. You're just going to have to go through some bells and whistles and jump through hoops. Is this load wants to run the Lucas Wilsterman route, is what I'm going to call it. He loves going this way. Their fuel plant has got fueling over in Fort Bridger, Wyoming, which means if we're going to fuel in Fort Bridger, Wyoming, We are going to go up the 101, yeah, and get up and find ourselves up to the 5 to the 80, up over 80, all the way through Wyoming, through Ohio, through all that nonsense up into Massachusetts. That's the Lucas Wilsterman route. Let's see. Lucas says, nasty Selena's tacos, didn't catch that review yet. Yeah, they got, I gave them more points than I should have. I think I gave my point rating too soon, but yeah, nasty. I won't go back there. I mean, they were decent. I would try them if I was you, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to make a point to walk across the street from Pilot to this place to get them again. I mean, they weren't that good. Karen says, also haven't been running all that hard. I've been off and on sick for the last 2 weeks. That's because you got COVID. Yeah, I was sick. Melissa and I were both sick for the last couple of days. I just feel better today. Yesterday, I couldn't even breathe out my nose at all. I mean, it was 100% stuff. Oh, back to the Lucas Wilsterman route. I forgot about that. So, I'm not about that route. You know, I'm not going through Wyoming and all that baloney up over Donner and all that garbage. Which is odd that it's having me go this way, because normally they don't. Normally what they usually want me to do from Selena's is they want me to go back to the 58, back to the 15, up the 15 to the 70, up over Vail, because they'll usually have a fuel stop in Colorado, and then the 76 to the 80 and on up the 80 into Massachusetts and all that nonsense. I don't ever go either one of those ways, guys, especially in the wintertime. I don't do it in the summertime because, one, going over Vail is a waste of fuel and brakes and hard on the truck. Going over the 80, I can't stand the 80. If anybody knows me, I don't run that route. I stay away from that lane. You guys can have it. Everybody who, you got to run the 80 if you want to make any money. I got to do something about this thing. I'm just way too close. It's making me nuts how my big fat head scream. I want to try something here, guys. Give me 1 second and I'll finish my story. I'm going to move you. Let's see. Oh, much better. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, so what was I saying? Can you guys hear me okay from this distance? I had you guys sitting on my steering wheel tray, but it I just thought of something I'm not going to say though. Okay, so we're not going to take the Lucas Wilsterman route. Not doing it. How I always go is I just throw in Amarillo. It's station code TX117 for your Qualcomm, or you just put Amarillo Petro in your Amarillo Petro is what I always use as a waypoint. I throw it in my Ram McNally and in my Qualcomm, and that completely changes your route to run the southern route. Now it's going to go, we're going to go 101, we'll run up over the, what is it, the 46, Melissa? I think it is. And it's going to take us over to the 58 to the 15, jump right on the 40 right there, shoot up to 40 to Oklahoma, then head northeast up to 44, past Prime. Hi, Prime, you want this trailer? I'm not going to stop, so you can't have the trailer. Past Prime, up into St. Louis, and then, the 55 up blah-da-dee-bah, and go up that way. That way is, according to the GPS, it is 50 miles further. We go from 3,123 miles to 3,174 miles. So 51 miles further to go that way. Now, is 50 miles worth not going over Donner? Not taking the I-80 bullshit? Is it 50 miles worth not going up over Vale? I mean, I say so. I say so. Boy, I got to really reach up here, though, to get this. Let's see. Lucas says, you're going to run 80? Have you seen the forecast? No, Lucas. You know I don't run the 80. I ain't even going to look up the forecast. Well, I bet you it's screwed. That's part of why I don't run the 80. Kiana says, don't have COVID test, negative for it. Don't have COVID, tested, negative for it. Let me read that correctly. Peyton says, man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm tired of seeing busted up Freightliners taped up, pulling them containers. Do you know why? Yeah, you know, that is funny. Container pullers, port guys, they love these old beat up, taped together, zip ties holding things. They love them old nasty Freightliners. It must be, you know, buy one, pay cash for it, run it till it falls completely apart. Kiana says, isn't the 70 closed? I wouldn't know because I don't. You're talking up over Vale? I wouldn't know. The last I heard it was open, but I don't pay attention to 70 because I don't run it. I don't run the 70. I don't run the 70 west of Denver. As soon as you get to Denver to the 25, that's as far down the 70 as I'll go. I mean, you might say, oh, well, you're being blah, blah, blah. I think I'm being smart, especially that I'm going to be buying a truck. I'm so used to going these ways and saving the brakes, saving the fuel. Why would I want to beat up a truck going over that crappy route? Or go over Donner. I mean, Donner, it feels like it's ripping the rubber right off your tires taking that route. You saw something about it being closed recently? All right. Sounds good, thank you. Yeah, I'm like a mile away now. But now I don't have a big fat head right in the screen. Lucas said, can you read okay from that distance? Yeah, Lucas, you guys remember how hard I'd barely be able to read your comments on the things right there? I completely forgot, guys. I'm supposed to be wearing transition, are they called transition lenses? You know, bifocals. Those last pair of glasses I have were just distance glasses. So these ones have my distance, medium, and then close up, you know, reading. So all I got to do is just move my head slightly and get focused in on what you guys are. I mean, yeah, I can see fine from back here. 101 to 15 to 40 across and up. 101 to 15. The 101 doesn't meet the 15. No, we got 101 to the 46. To California 46, I think it is. You just shoot up 101 for a few miles. You jump on the California 46, I believe it is. It takes you over. You pass the 5 freeway. You keep going, and then you get on the 99. You jump on the 99, and right there, not too far. You know, you've been up here. You hit the 58. You take the 58 on over, and that avoids the Grapevine. Although through Tehachapi there, if there's weather, you get dumped on over there. But there's no weather in our route. At least there's no weather in our route from checking it from leaving, you know, this afternoon. I figured we would have left here if they loaded us between 9 and 2. We probably would have realistically got out of here at 5 or 6 in the afternoon. And I checked weather from that time on, and it all looked good. By the time they actually get us out of here, because I know Flagstaff's going to get some frozen mix and things like that on Thursday, but you know, the coldest point in our route was going to be New Mexico. It was going to get down to 35 degrees. But that was looking from this morning. From September 1st to March 31st, I do not go above the 40 unless I absolutely have to. You chicken. John, I kind of run the same thing, but I'll tell you what. I know what you mean. It's using it from a north to, or east to west route, because obviously we're both going above the 40 to go up into the northeast. But come December or November, December, maybe even January, that's when I actually quit going up into the northeast, unless I really get a good weather plan to where I need to be here on this day and it's not going to snow a couple days before or a couple days after, because I hate getting stuck in that nonsense. But yeah, I really start playing the watch where I'm going game. You love running Interstate 10 west of San Antonio. The speed limit is 85. Yeah, our trucks are governed at 65, so for me to go that way is a long-ass, boring drive. Because one, the 10 through Texas is like the entrance to hell. I swear. As soon as you get out of California, there's a big dude with a pitchfork. He's on fire, and he goes, "Welcome to hell." And that drive through, what is that? You hit a little New Mexico, from Arizona. Those aren't too bad, but once you hit that Texas border, I guess is what I should have said, it's the entrance to hell. It seems like it takes forever, and there's nothing to see, and everything is flying by you like you're standing still. No, I try not to take the 10 unless weather tells me, David, take the 10 or you're going to die. Then I'll take the 10. But the 10 can get icy too. Kiana says, what the hell does a semi need to be doing 80 or more for? That is grossly excessive, especially considering tires are only rated at 75. Well, some tires are only rated at 75 recaps. You put new tires on, you should be good. I'll tell you right now, if these trucks were ungoverned, I'd be running 5 over the speed limit wherever I was at. So if it was 85, I'd be running 90, 80, 85, that's just the way I drive. So having a governed truck is actually, I guess, is what it's for. It's saving me fuel and making it safer. Lucas says to get freight there really, really fast. To get freight there and then sit around. But I guess if you had faster trucks, the time frames would be a lot less. So you'd just be not only have less time to get it there than you have now because you can go faster, but now you got to what I would consider work harder, because driving the truck that fast is a lot more work than driving it at 65. Kiana says freight will get there regardless. And Lucas is not nearly as fast. Better to get there than not at all. New tires are rated at 75 as well. Okay, well, if that's the case, that can't really be the case. There's got to be tires that aren't rated at 75, just for the fact that they're allowing trucks to go 80, 85. That would be a DOT violation, and technically any cop anywhere could pull a truck over for doing the speed limit and writing him a big ass ticket for exceeding the capability of his equipment. So if that's the case, I don't know why they're not handing out tickets. And also, if that's the case, if you have any kind of an accident with a semi and you can prove they were going over 75 mile an hour, man, that's going to make that reward you get, or I should say payout, a lot bigger, because the guy was completely negligent, and negligence makes the payouts bigger, because you got an accident and being negligent. Also, a lot of truck drivers would be going to jail, any of them that were exceeding that capability of their equipment and then really, really hurt somebody. So yeah, if that's the case, these trucks need to slow the hell down, because they're really asking for trouble. Okay, man, watch for them bull haulers with their straight pipes, Peterbilts. They be riding people's butts and dude. Yes, exactly. They are. Those bull haulers are something. They'll come in and just, they're literally pushing right out of the way. They're like the cops in Texas. I mean, the cops in Texas, I'm in the slow lane doing 70 in a 65, dee-da-dee-da-dee, and all of a sudden I get lit up by a cop. I'm not in the truck, I'm in my personal vehicle. I'm like, damn, what the hell, are you serious? So I pull over onto the shoulder, and he just passes me. He literally lit me up for me to get on the shoulder so he can go by. Talk about unsafe, man. He should have been on the left, lit them up so they can get in the other lane, not make me pull over onto the shoulder. Hell, there could have been debris there. I could have blew out tires and everything else, you know. But from what I understand by my brother-in-law, that's not that's something that they do. Luke says, I'm just kidding. I actually agree with you. I've had an ungoverned truck, and I can tell you from experience, 80 miles per hour with a bad wind gust is one of the scariest things to experience. Okay. Jeremy's back. I thought we lost Jeremy. Jeremy says, unless you're Lucas, then you take a week to go from California to Michigan when it should only take 4 days. Yeah, okay. I see we're going to have a fight here in a minute. L-rated tires are rated for 75 miles and N-rated are for 85 miles an hour, I believe. Okay. I knew somebody could come in with something, because, yeah, they have to have tires that are rated for more than 75, because otherwise, if they were all, you don't think the DOT would just be nabbing trucks? I mean, writing ticket after ticket after ticket? Hell yeah, they would. It's just the tires that we run are rated at 75 because our trucks are governed to 65, so what's the point? Speed is always why drivers end up in the back someone else's trailer. Seriously, yep. Speed kills. You know, it's so much easier to get a vehicle of any kind under control at a lower speed than a higher speed. But if you drive truck, you do know that when you're doing 65 miles an hour, as what I can attest to because that's what my truck goes, and it's windy and gusty out, that truck is a handful. You slow down to 60 or even 55, and it's like no big deal. It's all different. Now imagine if that truck's a handful at 65, these guys that are passing at 70, 75, 80, in those same winds, they got to be on the, they got to really be on their freaking seat of their pants. Kiana says, just last week saw an Abilene driver get arrested after he got, it's disappeared, after he got in an accident causing both sides of the 95 to go down to one lane in North Carolina in a construction zone. Yeah, he probably got arrested because he was negligent somehow and or on some kind of controlled substance. Lucas says $5,000 steak, boy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Number one, Lucas is 100% right. Jeremy, can I tell that story, Jeremy? I'm not gonna throw you under the bus. I just thought about it. I'm not gonna throw you under the bus unless I can tell that story. Why do people have companies? Because the trucks are limited to certain speeds. Why do people leave companies because truck? Well, because you got guys like Lucas Wilsterman where they don't feel like they're an actual truck driver unless they've got dual wheels, stacks on their truck, duck on their hood ornament that they can see the hood. Their truck's ungoverned. It's got an 18 speed with tag axles and straight pipes. You can't be muffled. That thing's got to wrap like a son of a bitch when you throw them jakes. And that's it. Hauling 80,000 pounds at all time. That's called the I'm stuck on being a super trucker, and anything else is just not trucking. I know Lucas is looking at here's Lucas. He's looking at his passenger seat right now with this look on his face. I was screwing with you, Lucas. Let's see. But yeah, guys don't like to be governed. I don't like to be governed. I always say, Number one reason I'm probably going to leave Prime would be because being governed. I'm going to look into the logistics side of Prime because you're actually governed at 75 from what I've been told. Because I would really like to be able to go 70. Not all the time, but to pass a truck. You know what it's like to get behind a truck that's doing 64 miles an hour and I'm governed at 65. Now one might say, well, just stick to 64. No, I want to do 65. And so you know how long it takes to pass a truck that's when you're in a governed truck doing 1 mile an hour faster than a truck in front of you? That's a long time. So either they need to put a passing speed in these trucks, which they have, but Prime doesn't. What that is for a set amount of time, you can drive the... I got to get some air going. She shut this curtain on me. There we go. For a set amount of time, the truck will run a higher speed for passing. You know, that's what we need. But let's see. Kiana says totally neglected based on what the accident appeared. Negligent. I guess I couldn't read that. I realized, wait, that's not an E, that's an I, and then neglected. Yeah. Let's see. Go ahead, it doesn't bother me. I still made my money for the week. Okay, we're going to tell this story here. Luke says he's listening off all the things he wishes he had. Yeah, right, Lucas? The straight pipe truck's been going down near 85 with chicken legs. Yep. Okay, here's a story. This is a Jeremy Brownheim story. So he completed his lease like a year and a half ago, and at Prime, they take you out for a steak dinner. Just like my trainer was going to take me out for a steak dinner if I trifecta'd. Well, I never got my steak dinner, and Jeremy never got his steak dinner. The difference is, my trainer was a lying asshole, and Jeremy, they had COVID happening, so they didn't do the steak dinners. Well, just recently, COVID is lifted, pretty much, so Jeremy gets notified, hey, it's time to have your steak dinner. Come join me and my, our friends and and eat some steak. So I'm telling Jeremy, dude, are you really going to take a day or 2 days off, lose that revenue for a steak dinner? Because obviously he was getting a steak dinner out of Salt Lake because that's where his fleet manager's out of. So he has to go to Salt Lake, which means taking a load to Salt Lake. Usually when you take a load somewhere, because you have to be there at a certain time, the load is not a revenue load now. It's a let's get you there load, so it doesn't always pay the best. So he was going to take a load there, and then, you're going to get there a day early. You're going to do your thing, and then you're going to dick around for a while. By the time you get out of there, at least 2 days have gone by, which means you've paid 2 days of your truck payment, and you've lost 2 days revenue. So you got those two deals. All right, but Jeremy gets dispatched a $5,000 load. No, I believe it was $7,000. He was going to, whatever the load paid, for him to drop it in Salt Lake, he was going to lose $5,000. And I'm like, are you seriously going to drop that 5 G's for a steak dinner? Yup. And so, I don't know, you guys tell me, what do you think? You think that was a bad move? You think losing $5,000 for a steak is worth it? This boy don't. Nope. Not at all. So, of course, now we always give Jeremy crap about $5,000 for steak. Yeah. I think that's the way the story went. But that's okay, because I think Lucas kind of does the same thing. It isn't necessarily for $5,000, and this is where the two boys love to butt heads with each other, is Lucas gets these really good paying loads out of California going to Lansing, Michigan, and of course his house is on the way, so he'll stop and do a 10 or 15 or a 20 or whatever. They give him X amount of time to get there. Let me see, can I make your hands like that? They give him an X amount of time to get there. Well, he can literally get it there here. And it's a drop, so it means he can drop that load and get a new load and have this much extra money. But he likes to take the whole time to do it, which drives Jeremy crazy. And so they'll do, Lucas is you lost 5 G's. Jeremy is where you've seen it takes you 5 days to go 3 days or whatever Jeremy said. So yeah, so those two are going to be at each other's throats for the rest of their lives over these two issues. Me, because I wouldn't lose the 5 G's, I wouldn't take the extra days to get there. Jeremy says, don't forget, I didn't have the hours to deliver on time, plus I was going home after the steak dinner. No, that's not necessarily true. If I remember right, that is what you manifested into. Because there was 2 loads. One you could make. One you could have made, and then the new one you couldn't have made. So one of them you could have made, because otherwise, why would we be teasing you about losing all that money for a steak dinner? Ooh, damn, it's getting cold now. One of them you were going to be able to make. Don't be twisting it there, buddy. Don't be twisting it. But that's trucking, man. Hey, if you want to lose the money, and then he says, and remember, I'm going home. So to me, because he's going home, that is 100% a reason not to stop and do that steak dinner. Because now, as he's screwing his revenue here, now how long were you out after your steak dinner? 2 days, and now you're going home. So no revenue, very little revenue, no revenue. So he really put himself in a bind there, I think. But hey, you know what they say: you do what you want when you lease. You save up. He does have the e-fund to do it all. So he wants to play steak dinner and whatnot, and go home for a month. That's on him. He's got the money. Let's see. Lucas says, well, it doesn't normally take me extra days to get there. However, I had a certain birthday party to go to. And Jeremy says, I call BS. Yeah, so do I. So do I, Lucas. Yeah, okay, you did the one time you had the birthday party. But if I remember right, I remember particularly talking to you one day, and you were shutting down like 2 hours from your house because you're running out of time, and then you were like, yeah, and then I'm gonna run and I'm gonna go home and do another 10. So you're gonna tell me you did your 10-hour break, drove 2 hours, and did another 10-hour break? That is taking extra time on that load. And again, guys, we're all just having fun. We're just joking with each other. We like to bust each other's chops. We're all out here making money. We're all surviving. We're all, doing our thing, so it's all good. But we do love to tease each other. Lucas says Jeremy still isn't home over a week later. He said Jeremy's sitting an hour and a half from his house, because he's got and he's done. He's 90 miles from the house. Yeah, an hour and a half from the house. And you're stuck there waiting to get the load delivered. That crap, I've done that before too, where I'm right there in Houston, a couple hours from the house, and I've got to wait a day and a half to unload because I'm there early. And it's like, damn it, if I could only just leave this in the Houston yard, go home for the night, and then come back and get it. What you could do, the only problem is I have these horrible things of, what if in the middle of the night I get a message on my phone, your reefer has just stopped. It's been turned off by the wrong switch, or it's been turned off, and now I got a 2-hour drive back to go see why someone flipped my reefer off. So, because there's nobody there monitoring the load, so I don't want to, I don't like doing, I won't do it there. I just don't trust it. But now that my daughter's nearby, there's a truck stop not too far from me, a mom and pop, to where technically I could do that, have her pick us up, take a nice break at home, you know, when we're a day early or day and a half early from a drop over there, and then run it in. But, you know, I wouldn't do that because I still, I just got to be where I need to be. I just can't stand screwing around before I drop a load. What's up, Florida boy? How you doing? Florida boy is in the house. We really thought about moving to Florida too. We looked a little bit, but pricing was just not where we wanted it to be. So we decided not to. We were thinking of moving over to the Auburndale area, or that area. You know, I got to be within a half hour of a taco shop. You know, and so we would have had to have went over there. But yeah, so, you know, I guess it's a trucking moment. You guys done cheered me up. I was irritated when I started this video. Now I'm just laughing because I got to pick on both Jeremy and Lucas at the same time. That's always fun. So I guess we'll see what time this load actually gets loaded. Maybe I'll leave down in the comment section what time it actually loaded, so we can see if they loaded us. I'm thinking we're gonna get out of here like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. That's what I'm thinking, and that's gonna suck, you know. But I'm a vampire. Melissa's clock's already back, so I'll just run it till 5 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, it's your time to drive. Just act like it's day, act like it. Well, no, I guess I'd have to wait till the sun starts coming up. Because if she sees it dark out, she'll know it's too early. Don't be cheap, bro. You making money. Yeah, I'm making some money, but, you know, it's not about being cheap. I have this plan. And one of the things that is, you know, I got a lot of family over in Texas where I moved, so that was another factor. And originally, the funny thing is originally, first time Melissa went to Florida, she hated it there. And I was like, are you out of your mind? I love Florida. It's so green and da-da-da. Yeah, it's got these big dinosaur-looking things that will rip your arms and legs off, but, you know, it's a pretty cool place. And then the more we went, she fell in love with it, but I wanted to be near a lake. I don't know. That was just something I wanted to do. And to get near a lake in Florida, you got to drop arm, leg, both your freaking testicles, and maybe an eye. So I wasn't into all that. I decided, no, we'll stick with our plan in Florida, because my plan is to have the house paid off in a few years before, you know, get out of trucking, and to have money stacked to get out of trucking. Luke says, by the way, I was probably just giving a hypothetical situation with that taking a second break thing. Doesn't sound like something I would do. Okay, we'll say, yeah, that was a hypothetical. We'll say face. It was a hypothetical. It's not hypothetical. He did it. I'm going to talk to him. That doesn't sound like something I'd do. If Lucas, and there's nothing wrong with this, I used to do it every time I drove through Springfield too, but when Lucas gets near Springfield, because he lives over in Missouri, near Springfield, he gets, you know, his house is here, and he'll be driving here, and a magnet just pulls him to it. You know, I don't care which way he's going, which is not, it's actually a good thing that you can do that. He's in such an area where, you know, he can park his truck. Hell, even if it's for a few hours, come in and say hi to the family, whack, 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 the right wife around, you know, there ain't nothing wrong with it. it's actually good because it keeps you close to your family. I used to do the same thing when we lived over in Greenfield. That was 30 miles outside of Springfield. Anytime I got near Springfield, I pulled in and stopped and did a break. I mean, every single time it was like, nope, I'm going to be driving past Springfield. I'm stopping. I'm going home for a day or two. Really, Lucas? Really? Are you Jewish, Lucas? Is that what that is? Is that a menorah? Wilsterman. That don't sound. Well, I guess it's more of a religion, so you could be anything and be Jewish, right? Lucas. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. Again, thanks for cheering me up. And all it takes is a little humor out of these boys, and they get me going. What does Florida boy have to say? How's the new truck coming along, bro? Must be nice. I have to wait to go on home time to go home. I'm down south, literally. Ooh, that's nice. Well, the new truck, I don't know. I've not gotten a VIN number on it yet. So until I get a VIN number, they haven't started building it, and until they start building it, who knows? The way things are going in the world today, who knows if the truck will even be built. Things are just so jacked up these days. But anyways, remember guys, we got the Facebook page, David H, Melissa H, husband and wife trucking across America. Come over there, you can post things. It's pretty much an open forum there. We don't regulate really what you post unless you get too crazy. We have had a couple of crazy things go on. We had to kick some people in the teeth, but they went and got dentures, and it's all good. Talk to you guys later.